this week's Blizz Pro Weekly, Gamescom was this past week. Nearly every game had major updates except Diablo was nowhere to be seen. But we have a theory on why Diablo fans should still be excited. Find out why. Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Blizz Pro Weekly. As always, I'm your host, Chris the Beard Arnone. It is August 9th, our day of filming, and I tell you what, we have so much to cover from Gamescom. Let's get straight to it, starting with World of Warcraft.
Here's the beef.
So this past week, Activision Blizzard held its quarterly investors conference call. As usual, we're going to skip all the boring shit and just give you the subscriber information. Back in March, we learned the subscriber base had dropped from 10 million to 7.1 million. This week, we find out it has dropped to 5.6 million, the lowest it has been since December 2005, nearly 10 years ago. Keep in mind, these numbers would have been about 2 weeks after 6.2 was released, so it's quite possible those numbers are even lower than that right now. Just goes to show how the last expansion, overall not a big success. However, Blizzard has the hype train running full steam ahead just a day after the news of the subscriber drop. Their new expansion was revealed at Gamescom. Our favorite emo night elf demon hunter named Illidan is back in the expansion titled World of Warcraft Legion. Now in this next expansion, the Burning Legion has come back to invade Azeroth as Sargeras returns. A new hero class is being introduced called Demon Hunter. Only Night Elves and Blood Elves can be Demon Hunters. They will start somewhere between level 95 and 100. That's still not fully determined by the devs. And they will get their own starting area similar to Death Knights. Now, a new slot for character creation will also be available for those who have maxed out their characters. Now, we won't go into full detail on everything in this expansion because there's a lot. We could probably do a whole show just on all the details of an expansion. And we've already written about all of it over on BlizzPro.com. Go check that stuff out. But we'll go over some highlights. So the artifact weapon system, it's basically going to replace your weapon slot and allow you to wield iconic weapons from the game like Ashbringer and Doomhammer. The level cap is raised to 110. Your classes will have their own order in which the player will be the leader. They can act somewhat like garrisons, but supposedly better since they're meant to get you to interact with the world rather than secluding you like garrisons do. Finally, the PvP system completely reworked for the first time since Burning Crusade. Players will soon have PvP talents that are separate from PvE talents, making the game easier to balance between the two playstyles. What do you think of the new expansion reveal? Are you one of the 5 million players that left WoW in the last 6 months? Is this going to bring you back in? Let us know in the comments. Let's talk Diablo.
Stay a while and listen.
Now, for those Diablo fans that are sad about no news coming from Gamescom for Diablo, never fear. We have something that should get you thinking at the very least. So it was brought to our attention that Blizzard has been urgently trying to hire for an art director on the Diablo team for an unannounced project. You can check out the full job description on Blizzard's official website, as with all their job descriptions. The wording here, though, is rather curious. Instead of just an art director for Diablo 3, it's an art director for an unannounced project. First thought is normally, well, they certainly have a new expansion coming out. Sure, and we expect the next D3 expansion to be announced at BlizzCon and released sometime next year. However, the art for that probably is already done. So why are they so urgent to get a new art director? And the only thing that comes to mind is another Diablo game. Could Diablo 4 now be in development or soon be in development? One of the first things you need is art direction. With Chris Lichtner, the previous Diablo art director, leaving Blizzard in 2014, it would make sense that they wouldn't have to fill his shoes until it was absolutely necessary. The next expansion was probably already done by Lichtner and by the time he left. So this will be, sort of third expansion for Diablo 3. Do you think they're starting development on Diablo 4? It's hard to say right now. Diablo 3 is over 3 years old right now. We don't think that you'll see the same time span we saw between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 because it's fucking ridiculous. Also keep in mind that despite a rough release, Diablo 3 has and still is making a lot of money for Blizzard, even being quoted as one of the money makers in the last investors call this week. However, Blizzard has done a lot of tweaking on Diablo 3 and has made it a completely different game today than what it was when it released. Would they go through all of that effort if they were just going to put out Diablo 4 in 2 to 3 years' time? Hard to say. But the possibility is there. The logical thinking says there will be, an expansion 3 of Diablo 3, with expansion 2 getting revealed at BlizzCon. But it's entirely likely the third expansion is in the works, and Diablo 4 could be developed side by side. Either way, Blizzard is going full steam ahead on Diablo. So for you Diablo fans sad about no news at Gamescom, don't worry. BlizzCon will be your event to shine. Let's talk some StarCraft.
Want a piece of me, boy?
So one of the new modes revealed this week for Legacy of the Void was Allied Commanders. This is a co-op mode versus the AI on objective-based maps. Now, Artanis is one of the commanders players will be able to use for Protoss, with Raynor and Kerrigan being available for Terran and Zerg, obviously. So you and your friend will be able to get together and take on these challenges. This, with the multiplayer option of Archon mode, is StarCraft Team's answer to make the game a more social experience. Now, for those who are into the more competitive scene, the new automated tournament mode was also talked about a bit. There will be a short format, 8-person single elimination option, because that's not a long enough fucking name for a mode. They've got to come up with something better. And a long format bracket-based option. Now, the bracket-based option will be restricted to certain time slots on weekends and will be best of one in order to keep the tournament time constrained. A little bit of cool stuff for StarCraft. Now let's talk heroes. So a ton of news came out from the Heroes of the Storm team. Now we knew we'd see the Monk hero, but the question was, what else would we see? Well, Blizzard revealed 3 new heroes. First, let's talk about the Monk, since he will probably be on the public test realm by the time you see this video. He is a Diablo support character and is unique in that you can choose one of 3 traits to begin the match. So basically you can decide to boost your damage, heal through melee combat, or restore mana. His abilities include being able to teleport to nearby enemies, heal himself and those around him, and increase his attack range and give himself bonus damage. And one of his ultimates is called Seven-Sided Strike, familiar to those who play Diablo, and allows him to hit nearby enemies 7 times for massive damage while being untargetable. His other is called Divine Palm, which puts an allied hero in stasis and then greatly heals them. Now, for those other new heroes. Rexxar is a Warcraft hero that will be a ranged warrior class and is unique since he has his pet bear Misha roaming around with him. Rexxar's abilities include summoning a hawk to slow enemies, having Misha charge to a location to stun enemies that are hit, and Mend Pet, which will heal Misha. One of his ultimates is called Bestial Wrath, which causes Misha to go into a rage and increase her fighting capabilities. The other ultimate is called Unleash the Boars, which sounds really funny. But anyway, it summons a bunch of boars that charge toward enemies and greatly slows them on impact. Altanis will be the first StarCraft warrior hero. He was revealed also in Legacy of the Void as the Protoss commander. Right now, not a lot of information has been revealed for Altanis, but he will likely be the free hero you get if you purchase Legacy of the Void's Deluxe Edition. Medic is a new StarCraft support character, which also did not have too much revealed. One of her ultimates, though, will be to create a medevac that your entire team can jump into and then fly to another point on the map, allowing you to get to some objectives a lot faster as a team. Now, new maps. We have new battleground that should be hitting when the Monk goes live in the next week or so. It's another Diablo-themed map called Infernal Shrines. Infernal Shrines is a 3-lane Diablo-themed battleground featuring 3 shrines that will periodically gather power. Teams can unleash this power by activating a shrine, defeating its guardians, and summoning a devastating Punisher to fight for them. These powerful bosses will spawn with one of 3 deadly affixes: Arcane, Frozen, or Mortar, and they will hunt down nearby enemy heroes as well as push the lane closest to their shrine. Lots of great stuff for heroes. Let's talk some Overwatch.
The world could always use more heroes.
So Blizzard revealed a new hero and 2 new maps for Overwatch. Lucio is basically a bard. He's a support character that helps his allies through his music. He can heal allies, speed them up, and also create a shield around them with his abilities. He also moves around on rollerblades and can even ride on the sides of walls. All like 90s and stuff. Takes me back to my childhood. The two new maps are Volskaya Industries and Numbani, which were both teased earlier this week. Volskaya Industries is a point capture map near St. Petersburg in Russia, a manufacturing center responsible for producing massive human-piloted mechs which help protect the local population. Following a rise in Omnic hostilities, in the Overwatch world, Omnics are robot beings, attacking and defending teams must now battle for control of the facility and its powerful, I'm going to fuck this up, Svyatogor mobile suits. Yeah, let's go with that. Numbani is a point capture payload hybrid map set in a utopian city on the edge of the African savannah. Here, one team must escort Doomfist's gauntlet as it travels to the Numbani Heritage Museum, while the opposing team fights to stop this infamous weapon from reaching its final destination. And we just want to note that the fighting over Doomfist's gauntlet was shown during the opening cinematic when it was revealed last year at BlizzCon. You know, that awesome fist thing that punched really hard. It was cool, yeah. All right, let's talk Hearthstone.
Pull up a chair by the heart.
So a new mechanic was shown off at Gamescom called Jousting. Basically, Jousting will reveal a minion card from your deck and your opponent's deck. Now, whichever one is a higher casting cost will win. Just an example of this is the Master Jouster. It's a 6-mana minion with 5 attack, 6 health. He has the battle cry, reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. This is thought to be a mechanic that will allow some more control or mid-range late-game decks to have something to fight aggro with, since they tend to use those low-cost minions in bulk. So far, only 3 cards have been revealed with this mechanic, and one of them is, of course, a Paladin card. And last but not least, ranked play is finally getting rewards starting this month. Each player's quest log will display the highest rank they've reached during the month and recognize their accomplishment. Additionally, they will be awarding players who progress past rank 20 with some minor rewards as a way of congratulating them for their achievements. Eligible players will receive a treasure chest at the end of each season containing the season's ranked play card back, 1 or more golden cards, and some arcane dust. What's in the chest is determined by your highest rank over the course of the season. For example, a player whose highest rank was, say, 17 will receive a golden common card, 20 dust, and the season card back. As of right now, these rewards only will get better between rank 20 and rank 5. Rank 4 through 1 getting just slightly more arcane dust. There is no reward for legendary other than the snazzy card back you get and the bragging rights of saying, hey, you were a legend. So what do you think of the new rewards for ranked play? Are they enough to get you excited to partake in that particular grind each month? Let us know in the comments. That does it for Hearthstone and our bonus-sized video this week. Subscribe right here on YouTube, iTunes, give us thumbs up, star ratings, all that good stuff. BlizzPro TV, you want to listen and subscribe to all of our shows. We have the West March Workshop, the Heroes Power Hour, and the new Hearthstone show, Well Met. Me, I'm all over the internet. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I'm a Goodreads author. My book, The Lost and Broken Realm, is available online pretty much everywhere. I'm also a contributor for BookRiot.com and Panels.net. If you have a question, email us at askthebeard@blizzpro.com. And of course, you want to check out blizzpro.com. We've got all the news, reviews, interviews, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. Stay beardy, my friends.